You guys have been in the market for power stations for a while now. You probably follow Bluetti for a long time. They make some really high quality stuff. One of the coolest things about what they're doing lately is they're catering to the smaller power station market. Not everybody needs 2,000 and 3,000 watts of power. Some people are perfectly happy with something like this that gives you 300. So today we're taking a look at the tiny emergency power pack that packs a big punch. This is the Bluetti AC2A. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. So I got some links down below. They're going to have a big sale on Bluetti gear in general, but I want to give you those links first and let you know about them. They're down at the bottom there. You can check them out. I even have a discount code down there. It's Iridium 2A. We're going to be having some really good stuff going on here, in the month of November, and I definitely want you guys to check it out. Those are the links for it down there. You'll be able to pick this up on their website or on their Amazon store as well. So like I said in the open, Bluetti has made some amazing power stations. As a matter of fact, the lighting that's on in this video right now is being powered by a Bluetti power station because it's a whole lot easier than plugging all these little USB things in the wall. So I'm using that, and I've been using it for about 2 years now. So all in all, I trust them with my channel, my lighting, and my stuff. I really like their gear. It's good quality stuff, and I've never had any issues with them. So this is the Bluetti AC2A. This is the smallest Bluetti power station in their lineup. It's got a lot of power to spare. 204.8 watt hours, a capacity of 300 watts. Okay, and pure sine wave inverters over here for your 300 watt power. Remember, that is a cumulative 300 watts. It's not 300 and 300. It will peak out, though, if you put it in boost mode at 600. Now, you don't want to run it forever because it'll hurt the batteries, but you will peak out at 600 watts if you need it. And it's good for that boost or something that maybe pops on at 595 and then goes down to 200 watts. So that's very handy as well, okay? You can be powered up no matter what you want. You can pair this up with solar panels. It will do dual charging, so you can plug it into the wall. You get about 260 watts. It'll take up to 300 watts off of solar, and you can get this up to in the 500 watt range, recharging it very, very quickly. This recharges very, very quickly. Last night I topped it off. It was at like 40% because I've been playing with it a little bit out here, and I topped it off, and it was done before I even thought to think, hey, you know what? I better go check on the power station, see if it's finished. It was already done. So very, very quick charging, okay? And I think for some people, a smaller station like this would be ideal. You're not looking to, say, power the universe. You're just looking to maybe keep your phone charged up during a power outage, maybe run some lighting, maybe plug in your flat screen TV, a smaller one that's under 300 watts. Keep up with the news, maybe plug in and charge up your ham radios. Also, for folks that do ham radios, these are very low noise. Another neat feature of this is all of the functions can be accessed from the front, and we're going to get into that. You can use a Bluetooth app, and as a matter of fact, I have it connected to the Bluetooth app right here, and we'll get into that too. But you can do everything you need to do on the front, and here's another thing that I really like that Bluetti has thought about. They have a grounding lug on the side. So with that screw, you can ground this, and you can run this a whole lot safer than some ungrounded power stations. Okay, especially if you're working in the outdoors and you're using it with ham radio with a big, huge antenna sticking up in the air, might be a smart idea to ground it. So you can ground these. It's very, very cool to do that. So basically what you're going to do with these is you're going to turn them on. Okay, now I have it on here. You're going to turn it on. Okay, you just push and hold that. I already had it on. Then you're going to hold the DC and AC buttons. And there you go, okay? Now you're in P01. This will allow you to pick 50 or 60 hertz. In the US, of course, we want 60. There's 60, okay? Then the next level, P03 is going to allow you turbocharging or not. We do have the turbocharging on because I want to show you that when we get it going. It's looks like a little arm like that over there. So you will be able to turbocharge on this, okay? Next up, you're going to have 4. This is power lifting mode. This allows you to jump into power lifting mode for things that have up to 600 watts when needed. It's good for stuff like hot plates. You guys remember that little container that I had, that little cooking, boiling water, little hot pot? Stuff like that. Awesome for it. It'll allow it to do that without causing a problem and overloading the power station. Okay, next up is P05. P05 is your eco mode. Eco mode, basically, this will shut down when not in use. And that is one of the biggest problems I've seen when people run refrigeration on power stations. Now, for this, I'd say a small refrigerator would be fine, but not a big one. But when you run a refrigerator on a power station, and if it has an eco mode, you want to shut that off, because what happens is your refrigerator will run and cool and cool and cool, and then everything's cool enough inside and it turns off. Power station thinks it's off. I've seen so many people complain about power stations going, oh, it's shut off in the middle of the night. Well, no kidding. You had it in eco mode, or, standby mode, and it wasn't drawing power. It turned itself off. So I keep that off on mine, at least for the demo. I'm going to be keeping it off. Next up, we're going to 06. This will allow your Bluetooth on and off. I have it on at the moment. You'll see the flashing icon up top there. I don't know if you can see that this far away. Yeah, you can. And that's it. So when you're done and you've done all your settings, you're going to want to accept it. So you're going to push both again. And you go back into regular mode. So it will accept the settings and take you back into regular mode. So I want to quickly go over the app with you. Okay. You have your DC and AC controlled here. You can turn the unit on or off. Okay. So it says you want to turn DC output on. And there you go. And you'll notice the DC output is on. If I want to turn it back off, it'll ask me again. And watch the DC outlet go out. Same with the AC. This will give you a look at your battery pack and your BMS, your battery management system here. It's on standby at 98%. This is your battery pack 1. Okay, this is all the information on your battery pack. There are no faults, alarms, protection. And this is the version of the battery BMS service. There you go. So all in all, you got everything going on here. You have the grid power coming in. I'll show you what's coming in from the grid. You'll have your solar or a photovoltaic PV coming in there. And this is what's going out. This is your output to AC and DC on there on either side. Very nice little app. There's some more settings on the end here. With turbo and power lifting, you can turn this stuff on and off. So we're going to put it in turbo mode. Okay, we have it in turbo mode. We're going to turn off the AC and DC eco, and that's what I like too. This is separate. You can use the AC on eco mode, but the DC you can keep in regular, or either way, or vice versa. So very easy to use on that. You've got your auto sleep. I'm going to put it for, I don't want to say never because I want to use it for the video, but I'd put it in about 5 minutes and stuff. Your advanced settings here is grid self-adaptation, your 60 hertz output, all that. So everything can be run from either the app or the front of the power station as well. Now, as far as what it comes with, you have a DC output here, your cigarette lighter port, okay? Two AC outlets at 300 watts each, 300 watts total. You have your DC or PV input here. Okay, that's for your solar panel. And it is the XT60 connector. You're going to have two USBs here, a USB-C up to 100 watt, and that's it. Because they're keeping this price of this power station lower, you do not have wireless charging on this. So if your phone relies on wireless charging where you're just going to stick your phone up top here, you won't be able to do it with this. But this is an extremely affordable unit and incredibly light. I mean, look at this thing. 300 watts and something like that. I remember at the beginning of power stations, say 15 years ago, when I saw the first few on Amazon, for 300 watts, they were like 8 times this size, big, huge boxes. I mean, they've really taken the electronics down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug some stuff in here. I'm going to test this out and see how well it works with its 300 watts. And then we're going to show you it charging up using solar. But we're going to try out solar first because I think solar for preppers is more useful than relying on AC outlets. So let's give it some time. Let's load up some stuff in it and see how it runs. All right, so I got some common emergency gear I might power up with this. I have a little AM/FM shortwave radio, ATS-25, so those little tiny SDR shortwave AM/FM radios. And I got a bunch of lights here that's kind of just plopped here. You've seen me review these, actually. These are very, very cool, very, very bright. I'm going to run them off that. I also have a plug over here, a cigarette lighter adapter plug, for this little cooler. Now, this is one of those coupling coolers. It's not a fridge, but basically it's 2 plates that when combined will either make it extreme hot or extreme cold. Basic, simple explanation for it. We're going to plug this guy in here. This is a regulated outlet. I know it is because this would not run if it wasn't. So, just going to turn it around and show you. We have a green light for cool. Okay. Got that running. I'm going to plug in this little guy here. I'm just charging him. I'm not turning him on. And as you can see, I have a green light charging on the back there. It's actually probably fully charged. That's what the green light means, I believe. It's red when it's not. But it is working. It is putting out watts. And of course, these lights. Very, very cool lights. Now, we're nowhere near capacity, of course. We're doing 14 watts. Okay, and you can see it matches on there. 97% left. Now, we're going to introduce something here because I want to see how close I can take this. I am turning on the AC plug. I'm sorry if these lights are blinding you. And I am going to be plugging in my hammer drill. Now, I know my hammer drill does close to 300 watts. You know, 270, 250, whatever. We're going to see if it can do all this at once. This is just an example of a high drain device. I don't think that during a major power outage, I'm going to be using my hammer drill. But it's the best device I could find that's in that power range. So let's turn it on. And you're getting an overload there because I went over the 300 watts for the entire unit. However, we're going to shut it off and return it on back on again. And you can see right there, everything's fine. Everything's working again. Now we're going to turn off the DC and we're just going to run this. And as you can see, no problem. So you need to remember that this is a total 300 watt unit. You can't go over 300 watt. And when this hit 280 plus the what I was drawing already, it was too much for it. That's not a problem with the machine. That's just I wanted to see if I could test it to a fault. It will work on spikes though. If this thing took like 560 watts when it turned on, it will go up to that 600 watts, okay? So that's no problem. I just wanted to explain that to you folks so you can see that that's how that would work if it did do a fault. You just turn it off and turn it back on again. No problem at all. Didn't do anything wrong. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how the battery management system protects it. So we're going to let this run down a little bit, and I'm going to put out my 200 watt panel for Bluetti, my 200 watt Bluetti panel. We're going to see, it's not an overly sunny day, but it's okay. There's pretty clear out there. And we're going to see how quickly we can top this back off to 100% or close to it using that panel. There is the Bluetti 200 watt panel, and we're just going to take a walk over there and see how this goes. All right. So we're at 95%. I'm going to plug this in, and I have it all lined up pretty well with the sun. It's a fairly sunny day out here. So let's see. It takes a few seconds to kick in. We get 8, 25, 62, 93, 118, 137 watts. There you go. Pretty good efficiency on that panel, 159 watts. You got about less than an hour. You see the little control here. So 0.1 hour. He's at 95%. All in all, pretty darn good efficiency on this panel, 160 watts in, and this is taking it no problem. I don't know if you can hear the sound of the fan. I'm going to move you close over this side. I mean, it's barely audible, so the fan is not a problem at all. So let's let this run a little bit and see how well we're doing. We've already gone up one. If you just saw that, it went from 95 to 96. So let's let it run for a bit and see what happens. So I literally walked my garbage pail up from the end of the driveway, put some garbage in it, and we're already at 99%. As it gets closer to being full, you'll notice it goes to 81 watts. It doesn't go the full 160 or 170. Definitely impressive. That's really cool. So let's bring it inside, finish up the video, and I'll give you some final information on it and where you can pick one up. And it was really funny. As I shut off the camera out there, it rolled over to 100. So that is an incredibly fast charge time. The max I got out there from that solar panel was 168, and that is a Bluetti 200 watt solar panel. So definitely check that out as well on this website that'll be down below. Gotta say, really impressive. Nice little unit. And you did see how, now I did another experiment too. You saw how I purposely made it overload. I made sure I had some stuff going in the DC and AC. If you start the AC, okay, and you run that drill, okay, then after it's reached its peak and calmed down again to around 250, you turn on the DC, it went perfectly. No problems at all. So you just have to be careful of your peaks and stuff like that. Again, it's a 300 watt power station. This isn't 2,000 or 3,000 watts. So definitely a cool deal. And if this is what you need, something like this with the Bluetooth connectivity, which I think is awesome for, you know, an inexpensive unit, this is definitely a good thing. And this is one of those deals where it's not cheap, but it's not inexpensive. It's not expensive. It's not cheaply made. It's very well made. This is Bluetti. This is like the Cadillac of power stations. Definitely top of the line, good stuff. Really works well, and I've had no issues with my Bluetti stuff. As I said, I use it for my lights in here. I have the other one, the 600 watt one down at the floor there, that I use for my lighting in here because it's easier than plugging all the little USBs in adapter plugs and plugging them into the wall. So it definitely works for me, and I think it would work well for you if you need a smaller power station. Even having something like this for maybe your senior grandfather or grandmother or whatever, and explain to them how it works and turn it on and that, and having something like that, it's amazing how just some light and a radio playing can make you feel a little less weirded out when the power's out. So quickly, all right, your battery capacity on this, 8 amps, 204.8 watt hours. Your cell type is, of course, a lithium iron phosphate, 3,000 or more charges to 80%. Basically 10 years of solid use every single day from dead to charged, and you'll be fine, okay? You do have AC and DC inputs, okay? Your DC input is 300, your AC is 270. So together you can do that all together and you will be able to power it up via both, okay? You do have pass-through charging. So while I was out there solar charging it, I could have turned on the AC power outlets and it would have worked fine, okay? 7.9 pounds, feels lighter than that, but very, very lightweight. The dimensions on it, 9.8 inches by 5.1 inches by 7.1 inches on this way. Very, very lightweight, compact, easy to carry around and use. Something like this, just laying around there, ready for your use anytime you need it. Definitely cool. I really do like it. And I did want to mention, because I didn't show you powering it up with the wall power, this is where you'll plug that in, right over here. So there's no big power brick even. My older Bluetti actually uses, and I'm about to charge it after this video, this guy here. This guy is just a straight plug. Now you will get your adapter with the XT60 connector on the end to the MC4 connectors for the solar panel, and that's what we used when we were charging it. You will also get your wall charging plug here. No wall wart, no nothing. You just plug it in, done. Okay. You will not get a car charger plug on this. It is something you can add later on if you choose to. Generally, it's not something I'd use, honestly. Now, if you're an RVer, if you ride around in your van, if you have a small little conversion van type thing that you got going on that you use for camping and stuff, yeah, maybe you want to pick up that unit. Make sure when you're charging these that you charge them while the car is running or the engine is on, or you'll kill your battery real quick. So definitely a cool little unit. That is the Bluetti AC2A. Tiny emergency power pack, has a really decent punch to it. Gives you everything you possibly need in a small little system. And I really like it. This is probably going to be one that I hold on to. You know, some of these I will give to friends, maybe sell, keep, the older ones. But when it comes to the Bluettis, I always keep them because they are just top of the line stuff. Really good stuff. So definitely check it out. All the links and the information for the sale will be down below, as well as my discount code, which is Iridium2A, okay, down there. Definitely check it out. Don't forget to check out all our other things, our Amazon affiliate store. This will be on the Amazon store as well. And our freeze-dried wholesalers link. My link saves you 15% on any food you need to get. Get it before things get crazy. I know some of the stuff is back ordered, but that just means it'll take maybe a week or two to get to you instead of not in stock anymore and you never get it. So definitely check it out. My link will save you 15%. Our My Patriot Supply link, that's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. Got some great food deals there for you new preppers. And our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store, if you're interested in some really good freeze-dried quality food. Those are the 3 food companies that I trust with my storage. I think you guys can too. I thank you for watching today. Stay safe and stay prepared.